One of the ways that we find that student voice is enacted in our inquiry learning is that before we even begin to plan our inquiry, we actually ask the students to give us the rich questions and the focus questions for the unit before we even sit down as a team and start planning that unit. So we have like little bits and pieces of paper from the students, and we look at where they would like to direct the learning and where they would like to pursue that. And with that, we pull that together and we start to put a rich question together. And then what we try to do with the students is then we get them to look at a personal learning task, and we call them PLTs. And we give them to the students, and that sort of drives their learning in terms of the inquiry. So they pick a particular area of that inquiry, it becomes their personal learning task, and they're able to present it or show us in any way how they do that. And what we do is we start from almost prep, doing that, but by grade 5, 6, that's where we would like them to be. We also believe that at St Luke's that student voice has 3 elements that allow our students to inquire and develop their own voice. They need to be able to share their learning with others and be connected to their learning. But also we really have this challenge of connecting to the wider community, and we also ask for feedback. And that's one way, giving us feedback on our inquiries at the start, but we also ask for feedback at the end as well. But my focus really today is just to show you some examples of how we might use our technology tools to promote student voice in our learning. So one of the examples we use to capture student learning is through our blogs. So each teacher at our school has a blog, and we incorporate our learning through these blogs to make it authentic and reflective for our students. We also use our blogs to tap into the wider community about questions or things that the students were wondering about in their learning. And this has the idea behind this is that our students have the problem but not necessarily know the solution. We don't necessarily give them the solution. The solution is there for them to work out on in their blogs. So I've just got an example of the juniors. The juniors are doing a weather topic. Now, most juniors do a weather topic throughout our schools. But what we thought was we asked the juniors just to write some questions about the weather and what they wanted to know. So then we decided we'll put them in a Google form and we'll tweet it and see what happens. Oh, actually, sorry, first of all we blogged it, we put it on our blog, and we didn't really get that much of a response. So we thought, oh, okay, well, why don't we just tweet it? Well, the next day we had 40 responses all over the world, and that's a map actually of the world, and it's where we got our tweets from. And it was just so authentic for the students just to see that, somewhere else in the world it's this, the weather is 40 degrees or, it was just amazing for them to have that and capture that. And as you can see from that, there's just a wealth of activities and inquiry that you could keep going with that. So then as a junior team, we had to sit down again and go, okay, now how are we going to design this for our learners? How are we going to promote this information that we got from the wider community? In the junior levels, we predominantly look at our blogs as a modelling tool. So that when they move to the next levels, we build on their experiences and knowledge. But by the time they're in grade 5 and 6, our students have their own blogs. So they're posting on their blogs, posting on other people's blogs and connecting with others. And this gives them such a purpose and authentic learning taking place. And I've just written down, as I was reading the curriculum draft there, the Horizons of Hope, one of the key sentences in there was, and builds knowledge of how to interact with the world. And I think that's one of the skills that we've really engaged with. We actually give them a protocol about how to blog, how to post, how we start the blog, And that really gets the students really thinking about, you know, how can I get people to come on my blog and listen to my voice. So with Twitter, all the teachers actually have their own. We have a school Twitter account, and that's how we blog and how we tweet out. And I just wanted to share with you. Yesterday, I work in a grade 5-6 class, and yesterday we had doing picture books for their buddies, the grade 6s were. And I said to the students, how about we tweet, you know, has any authors out there, have you got any advice for us? The next night, I was gobsmacked. The next day, I had all these authors tweeting back to us and just letting us know about, you know, make it short, make it simple, you know, all this advice. And I looked at it with my kids yesterday, and we started to say, well, which one connects to you? Which one do you feel like that's going to drive you to make your picture book for, you know, a very simple activity, but it's really getting us to go further and really asking the experts out there. So the other element that captures student voice is the use of feedback. And we ask our students for feedback. It allows us to know what step to take next. Sometimes, you know, you feel a little bit let down by the feedback, but sometimes it's really good and informative feedback. It allows us to plan and get authentic and collaborative with our students. And, you know, it's just another example of how they've got student voice. So we often do, this is on one of our blogs, and we often do, well, what worked well, even better if. So we ask the students, you know, to give us the feedback on the learning that's happening. And we actually do that quite a bit in our maths lessons as well. And again, we use our class blog to get the students to be reflective about the learning that's happened, and they post that. And I've just put up our blogs as well. So if you'd like to have a look at our blogs, they're just there, and you can have a bit of a look and see some of the tweets that came out. So thank you.